All right, guys, welcome to class. My name is Byron. We're going to start in child's pose. I have a little special class planned today. So it's something that I call a Vinyasa-less Vinyasa class. So arms could be stretched out in front or down by your sides, hips sinking back, forehead resting onto the mat. And before we really just cover the groundwork here, take a big inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. And then open your mouth, let it go. Good. And then just really starting to breathe in and out of the nostrils. As long as you can do that, you don't have an allergy, a deviated septum, something like that. Sometimes if you do have a little clogging there, by the end of the practice, it'll be gone. So do attempt to breathe in and out of your nose. Good. And then basically just setting the groundwork, seeing if you can find a little more space between your breaths. So there's suspension at the top of the inhales and suspension at the bottom of the exhales. Good. And then see if you can see the breath all the way up to the very top. And then when you exhale, squeeze all the air out. Good. And this little subtle shift into the breath is going to allow our minds to relax. See if you can stay with that relaxation in the mind, and we'll just start to work the body for the next 90 minutes, a little vacation for your mind. Modifying your practice is a form of intelligence, so if you ever need to come back to child's pose, I know I do occasionally, sometimes frequently during my practice, so please do. But from here, let's go ahead and stretch the arms out in front. Spread the fingers. And just come up to the hands and the knees. I'm just going to stay on the hands and the knees for a moment. Straighten your right leg straight back behind you. Send a little pressure into your right palm and reach the left arm straight out in front of you. And it's a good opportunity to find length in your body here. So a couple of little tips if you have never done this pose. Just flex that right foot so the toes point down. Get really long through that back right heel, that Achilles. And then find your shoulder socket with the left arm and the right arm. So you're plugging them back and down. And that left hand is going to be in a handshake position. So it's an external rotation. Good. Use the belly here. Draw the core up towards the spine for support. Good. And then after you've kind of been here for as long as we have, you might decide to lift the limbs a little higher. When I say a little, a millimeter could be a lot sometimes. So kind of taking it easy. Very nice. Take one more inhale, reach everything out, and then set everything down on the exhale and switch sides. So you're just going to start nice and easy, left leg back. Right arm reaches out in front of you, handshake position. Find the shoulder sockets. And evenly distributing the weight in that left palm. So all the 5 fingers are pressing down. Good. See if you can feel the skin on the back of your left knee start to stretch because your leg is so straight. And again, use the core. It's going to help you support your spine. And if you decide to lift a little higher, now would be the time. Nice. Take one more inhale, reach everything out. And exhale, set everything down. Step back to plank position. That would be upper push-up if you're not familiar. And upper push-up is kind of gives you the impression that this is about your arms. Well, it's a little bit about the arms. See if you can use your legs too. So quads are going to be lifted. And then recruit the core muscles again. So you are using 3 different muscles to support you. Crown of the head's long here. Usually the eyes could drift onto the wood floor in front of you. And you're still with the steady breath, the steady mind. But anything that gets in the way of that today is getting in the way of your yoga practice. So knees can come down any point. Very nice. Feel your lower belly lift. I want you to really lift that lower belly and let that be what takes you back to downward facing dog. Press your hips up and back. Good. Spread the fingers. Make sure the wrists are nice and protected. The heels are going to press down towards the floor. And then you're going to start to really roll the shoulders away from the ears best that you can. Triceps down. Good. You might pedal the legs a little. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, bend both knees, whatever kind of feels right. And then go ahead and come back to the neutral downward facing dog. From here, slide back into plank position. Lower halfway down and pause. And then press back to the top. Downward facing dog. We're just going to do 2 more of those. On the inhale, slide forward, plank pose. On the exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up. And exhale, lower belly lifts back. Inhale, slide forward, plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. Go ahead and let those hands unplug and crawl them back to your feet. Take your opposite elbows, just hang out here. One of my favorite things to do in practice is just a simple forward fold. And that's what's so great about this practice. It's all functional. I mean, sure, there's ways to do inversions and one-handed handstands. All that stuff exists. But how about just bending over? You know, functional movements we do every single day. That's what this is really about. You might sway in one direction, like gravity sway you in the opposite direction. Just stepping further and further away from thoughts and more into feelings. Good. Take your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers there. And just introduce the shoulders into the practice, no rush. You might have really tight shoulders. In that case, maybe the hands just stay on the back. Or maybe they come off the back or even over the head. Good, very nice. Release your hands down to the floor. Crawl back to downward facing dog, fingertip by fingertip. Eventually the palms will come down. And then back to plank pose, slide forward. This time, lower your forearms down to the ground, one by one. I'm going to be doing a lot of this today. So hopefully you don't like it. Because if you like it, you're just going to create more and more imbalance. It's usually doing the things you don't like to do that creates balance within you. But it's a lot like plank here. So feel the quadriceps lifting up still. Using the belly, the knees can come down at any point. And if you want to do a little extra work while you're here, you're going to feel those elbows pulling in towards each other. So like the chaturanga muscles are working. That's just if you want a little more. Good. Now this is just a little introduction to it. We're not going to hold it. Go ahead and come up to plank pose, one palm at a time. And press back to downward facing dog. One more time. Unplug your hands, crawl them back to the feet. So you're going to be at the back of the mat in a forward fold. You can take the opposite elbows again, but take the opposite elbow, the one you didn't grab before, and just kind of hang out, melting. Notice the stillness of the pose. Even if you are swaying around, there's still kind of an element of effortless effort where you're just kind of relaxing into the pose. Good. It's that stillness that we're looking for in every posture that we do. It's just a little easier to find it here. That's good, guys. Bring the hands behind the back. One more time, interlace the fingers. One finger over to change it up. And then pull the chest, open it up. Maybe send the knuckles off the back or over the head. Let the neck relax. Still flowing with your breath. And drop the hands down. Put a decent bend in your knees and start to roll like a rag doll all the way up to standing. No rush. Let those arms relax. Let the neck relax. It'll be the last thing to come up. And then reach the arms up. Inhale here. And then hands to the heart center as you exhale. Take a moment. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you could do that now. And take one more big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Good. Go ahead and step up to the top of the mat. Feet are going to be hips width apart. Good. Root the feet down, and on your inhale, sweep the arms up and over your head. And then as you exhale, forward fold, bend in half. Good. So on the inhale, it's called Ardha Uttanasana. It's a flat back. Fingertips or hands on shins. Pull the heart forward. Fold in as you exhale. Let's do that again. Stand up, sweep the arms up and over the head. Big inhale. And then hands to the heart center. Exhale. Good. Inhale, sweep and reach. Elongate the side body. Elongate your breath. Forward fold as you exhale. Drop your head. Good. Inhale, flatten the spine. And then fold in one more time. Root down to rise. Sweep the arms to the sky. Inhale. And then hands to heart center. Exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale, sweep and reach. Say goodbye. Exhale, fall forward and swan dive. Inhale, flatten the back. And then fold in. Step your left leg back. Keep your right leg at the front of the mat. Good. And lift your chest, come up to your fingertips, and then run your arms down by your ribs. Good. Yes. So now you're starting to feel the heat build in your right leg. As much as you feel the right leg supporting your weight, can you make the left leg a little stronger, as if you were standing on it? Good. Very nice. If you're going to lift anything in this pose, see if you can lift your navel without lifting your chest. Good. Very nice. And then from here, go ahead and place your hands on the ground and step your left foot to the top of the mat. We're going to do the other side. First, flatten the back. And then fold in as you exhale. Step the right leg back. Come up to the fingertips. Easy. Lift the heart. And then arms down by your sides. Good. So never rushing. Just going to have a nice, slow, methodical practice today. You're going to get everything you need out of it. Hopefully everything you want. Feel the back of that neck get nice and long. Good. Maybe lift the lower belly up a little bit more. Right heel pressing back. Good. Last inhale here. Set the hands on the mat. Step your right foot forward as you exhale. Inhale, flatten the back. And then fold in. Exhale, press down again. We're going to stand up. Sweep the arms over the head. And then hands to the heart center. Exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale, sweep and reach. Just keep on moving. And then forward fold. Exhale. Grooving. Inhale, flatten the back. And then fold in. Step the left leg back again. Good. Come up to the fingertips. Lift your heart. And then run your arms down by your ribs. Good. This time, maybe reach the arms out in front of you. If it feels like something you'd like to do, it'll help increase heat. Just make a little more of a challenge here. Good. Take one more inhale. Bring your hands down. Step up as you exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, flatten the back, fingertips or shins. Exhale, fold it in. Good. Step your opposite leg back. Let's do the other side. Inhale, come up to the fingertips. Exhale, run the arms down by your ribs. Maybe reach the arms forward. Do it because you want to, not because your neighbor's doing it. Doesn't have much to do with if you're strong. It has more to do with technique and injuries in your back. Good. That inner thigh starting to hug in towards the midline. Oh, that's it. One more inhale here. Drop the hands. Step up as you exhale. Inhale. Flatten the back. Fold in. Exhale. Last one of these. Stand up. Sweep the arms up and over the head. And then hands to heart center. Exhale. Do it again. Inhale, sweep and reach. Maybe the palms touch. Exhale, forward fold, but you're not in a rush. Inhale, flatten the back. Fold in. Step the left leg back. Good. Crescent pose. Put a little bend in your left knee. Reach the arms up vertically. Good. Feel the side body stretch. Good. Just getting your body in certain shapes is part of the practice. And then breathing into the posture is a lot more of the practice. So once you get into the posture, still stay with your breath. And maybe tuck that right hip in a little bit. Good. If it feels good, press your palms together. Maybe look up to the sky so you're challenging your balance at the same time. Nice. Take one more inhale here. Plant your palms down. Pause. Reach your right arm straight up. Twist. Use your left heel here. Really press it back. Opening that right chest. Should feel kind of nice. First twist of the day. We'll get more and more into these twists as we warm the body up. For now, open up a little wider on your inhale, and then right hand down to the ground. Go to step up as you exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, flatten the back, and then fold in, step the right leg back. Crescent pose, inhale, reach the arm straight up. Draw the belly in. Side body's going to stretch nice and long because the shoulders are down into their sockets. Good. If you want to press the palms together, try to do it with straight arms so the shoulders don't move out of their sockets. And maybe look up to challenge your balance. Good. That's it. Take one more inhale here. Drop both hands down to the ground. Keep the right hand down. Open the left chest, left arm to the sky. Drive your right heel back. Introducing the first twist on this side. Good. Notice if you're completely leaning into that right hand. Try to keep some weight into the left leg. That's it. Open the left chest a little more. Inhale, left hand down. As you exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, flatten the back. And then fold in. Chair pose. Bend the knees. Squat down, please. Good. Just going to hold this first chair for a moment so you can see the toes. The shins are shifted back a bit. The weight's in the heels. Good. The tailbone's long instead of sticking back. And the belly's in. Good, very nice. Take one more inhale and then stand up, hands to the heart. As you exhale, shift all the weight into your right foot and hug your left knee into your chest. Good. First real balancing thing of the day, bring the hands to the hips, straighten the left leg. And none of the leaning back stuff here. Try to stand up as tall as you can and close the gap between your navel and your left thigh. And put a little bend in the standing knee as we're going to come back to Warrior 3. Hinge forward, kick your left leg back, bind your balance. You're like a human teeter-totter. Good. Once you get back there, really smooth out the left leg. Make it nice and straight. And then place the hands wherever you'd like to. They could be down by your ribs, maybe on top of that right leg. Maybe forward. Good. Just kind of sustaining where you are. There's no better learning tool than falling, so don't be scared. Keep your left leg in the air. Take one more inhale. Drop your fingertips down to the ground. And then crawl those fingertips a little closer into your right toes. Good. And then instead of opening your left hip like a lot of you are and like a lot of you want to, be disciplined. See if you can square the hip down and lift from the inseam of your leg. Very nice. We'll get into the hips later for those of you that want to do that. Good. Try to take any tension out of the neck. Always relaxing what you're not using. Oh, beautiful. And then with a small bend in your right knee, come back to crescent pose. Drop step your left toe. Sweep the arms straight up on the inhale. Good. And then hands to the ground. As you exhale, reach your right arm up. Good. Rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot, swing your right leg back and stack your legs on top of each other. The left knee comes down if you need it to. And if the knee comes down, it's going to be right underneath your left hip to modify the pose. Good. And if you have any wrist injuries, shoulder injuries, you want to modify this thing. Good. Very nice. Good. You can reach for that front wall if you'd like to reach the right arm over the right ear. It's a little more weight bearing on the left arm. And then wherever you are, we're going to lift the right foot off the left or off the floor just for a moment. I want you to hug your right knee to your chest. Squeeze it in. Good. Not with your hand, but just with the knee, hugging in. Good. Look forward to the top of the mat. And then step the foot to the top of the mat. Spin onto your back toes. Come up to crescent pose. On the inhale, sweep both arms up. And then as you exhale, bring both hands down to the ground. Step your left foot forward as you exhale. Good. Inhale, flatten the back. And then fold in. Exhale, squat down. Chair pose. Bend the knees, please. Weights in the heels, belly in, shoulders down. And then stand up. Hands to heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. Hug the right knee into your chest. Again, introducing balance into the other side. Good. Want your balance hands to hip, straighten the right leg. Best that you can, close the gap between the belly and the thigh. And just fixate those eyes, that drishti. Doesn't really matter how high you can lift the leg. This is a practice. There is no performance. A little bend in the left knee. See how gracefully you can come back. Smoothly hinge forward. Kick the right leg back. And then place the arms wherever's comfortable for you. I always keep a little bend in my left knee. It kind of helps me steer the balance if I start to wobble. Kind of like your shock absorber there. Good. And just steady breath, steady mind. Never caring if you fall. That's the real challenge here. Try to keep your right leg the height that it is. Take one more inhale. Drop the fingertips down. Crawl the fingertips a little closer to your left toes. Let all the tension out of the neck go. Good. And then, yeah, spiral the inner thigh up, the inner right thigh. So you want to feel like you're lifting from the big toe side of your right leg. Good, you guys. It's one of my favorite things. It's such a simple pose. Good. You could use this one to tie your shoes later. Good. With that small bend in your left knee, we're coming back to crescent pose. Drop step the right toes. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Good. And then both hands down to the ground. Reach your left arm up. Knee down if you need to modify. Otherwise, outer edge of the right foot. Start to swing your left leg back. Stack the legs. Flex the feet. Use your oblique muscles. That's your side body to press up. Make sure that right shoulder's in its socket. And then, yeah, reach the left arm over if you'd like. And then we'll all lift the left foot off the right or off the floor without hugging it with your hand. Just use your core muscle to pull that knee to the chest. And then look forward, lunge it to the top, spin onto your right toes, crescent pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then both hands down to the ground, step up, top of the mat. Inhale, flatten the back. Step back to plank pose, hold that. Isn't it interesting how your body starts to want the back bends, how it starts to want the plank pose? Good. Lower your forearms down to the ground one by one. Got to remember this. Good. Good. If you want a little extra, you could lift the right toes off the ground. We're only here for 5, though. Good. 4. Set the toes down. 3. Switch sides. Left toes. 2. Good. 1. Left toes down. Sphinx pose. Go ahead and lay down. If you're not familiar, stack your shoulders over the elbows. Keep the elbows into the side body, so it's a back bend. If you're not sure if you're doing it right, just look around. Match your arms with somebody who looks like they know what they're doing. There you go. And then just feel the first back bend of the practice. Good. Take one more inhale here. Bring the chin to the floor. Slide your hands back by your upper ribs so the thumbs will still be touching the side body. The elbows also touch the side body. You don't want to change that. We're going to do cobra. So inhale, cobra. Lift the chest. Lift the heart. And then exhale, chin down to the start. Just going to do 2 more. Inhale, baby cobra. Keep it low. And then exhale, chin down. 1 more to go. Inhale, cobra. Lift the heart. Exhale, chin down. Come back to Sphinx pose. Place the forearms in front of you. Remember, direct vertical line from shoulder to elbow. Those of you who don't know what vertical is, it's a straight line up and down. There we go. And then tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Lift your thighs. Lift your lower belly. Back to forearm plank pose. Good. Slowly climb your way up to plank position, 1 palm at a time. Big juicy inhale, top of plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Hug the right knee into your chest. Just squeeze it in there. We're not going to step it through. We're just going to squeeze it. You want to be working right now. Good. Back to downward facing dog. Switch legs. Left knee into the chest. Same idea. Use the core muscles here. Feel like you're going to step it through, but don't. Back to downward facing dog. Right knee to the chest. Squeeze it in. This time, We will step it through top of the mat. Good. Back heel is going to spin flat on the ground. Warrior one, sweep the arms straight up. Now I see a lot of you who really bent that right knee really deep right off the bat. That's could be okay, but usually you want to save the bending the right knee really deep for after you get the left leg like you want it. So the left leg's really straight here. It's your anchor. The outer edge of the left foot's trying to seal down. Once you feel like you got that down, then play with bending the right knee deep. So what happens is you start to pinch your lower back, which is unnecessary. Good. Take one more inhale, reach a little higher, and then hands to the floor. As you exhale, right leg back, pause. Lower your forearms down one by one. Good. Just for 3. In 2. Sphinx pose in 1. Lay down, release the tops of your feet. Good. Take an inhale here. Release the chin to the floor. Slide the hands back for cobra. Thumbs by the upper ribs. Inhale, open the chest, open the heart. And exhale, chin down. Come back to Sphinx pose. Forearms on the ground, right in front of you. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your thighs and lower belly. Good. And then back to plank pose, one palm at a time. Good. Downward facing dog. Good. Hug the left knee into your chest. Squeeze with strength. And then back to downward facing dog. Hug the right knee in. Good. Good. Back to down dog. This time left knee into the chest. Round the shoulders. Step it through. Top of the mat. Back foot flat. Warrior one is your inhale. Sweep the arms straight up to the sky. Remember, the right leg's more important than the left. Good. Now left hip's just dragging back a little bit. Good. Reaching out of the side body as you try to touch the sky. Take one more inhale here. Both hands down to the ground. Left leg back. Pause here. Lower the forearms down one by one. Good. Just for 3. Good. 2. And 1. Sphinx pose. Lay down, release the tops of the feet. Find your back bend. Feel like you're dragging the skin of your forearms back here. Good. That should feel kind of good in the back. And this time, retuck the toes. Lift the knees, lift the thighs and lower belly. Come back to plank pose with muscle and strength, one palm at a time. Big, juicy inhale, top of plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Big inhale, wind the hips back, bend the knees, look forward, step or spring to the top of the mat. Exhale. Inhale, flatten the back. Fold in, exhale, bend the knees, chair pose, please. Good. And then stand up, hands to heart center. Good. Come right back to chair on the inhale, scoop low, reach high. And then forward fold. Exhale, dip and dive. Inhale, glance out, fingertips or shins. Good. Step back to plank pose. Pause here. Lower the forearms down one by one. Good. Very nice. Good. All the way down, Sphinx pose. Release the tops of the feet. And then tuck the toes. Lift the knees. Lift the thighs and lower belly. All the way up to plank, palm by palm. Inhale here, downward facing dog. Step your right foot through, spin your back foot flat. Warrior one, inhale, reach the arms high. This time connect the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, and then pull the chest open as you inhale. Fold inside of your right leg as you exhale. Humble warrior. Good. Try to empty out the neck here. Good. It's almost like you're imagining as though your breath was the fire that melted the ice. That is the tension in your right hip and the shoulders and the neck. They say the imagination is vitally important just to your life, just to your well-being. Good. Very nice. Then try not to change your hip position. Just come all the way back up to warrior one as you inhale, reach higher. And then hands down to the ground, right leg back. Forearm by forearm, lower slow. This time we'll start to add things for those of you that really feel strong in this pose. Lift your right toes. Good. Right knee, right elbow. Good. Right leg back and down. Lift your left toes. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg back and down, Sphinx pose. Lay down, release the tops of your feet. Pull the shoulders back, relax your belly. Feel like you're dragging the skin back. Good, retuck your toes. Lift your knees, lift your thighs and lower belly. Lift your right toes, right knee, right elbow. If you want it, right leg back and down. Lift the left toes, left knee, left elbow. Squeeze, left leg back and down. Plank pose, please, one palm at a time. Big inhale here, downward facing dog. Step your left foot through. Spin your back foot flat. Warrior one, sweep the arms high. Connect the hands, connect the dots behind the back. Interlace, inhale. Fold inside the left leg, exhale. So lots of times we get redundant in our practice. We kind of get stuck. We do the same things over and over. Today we are changing it up. Usually when you do something that's changing what you already are used to doing, the mind has resistance to it. Your challenge is to accept those things and just be with what is. Those 4 words, very simple, very clear, and very deep. Just be with what is. Good. And then try to keep your legs as is. Come all the way back up to warrior one. Good. Hands down to the ground. Left leg back, forearm by forearm. Come down. Good. You're just going to be here for a few. Stay here or lift your right toes off the ground. Maybe right knee, right elbow. If you want it, right leg back and down. Switch. Left toes up. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg back and down, Sphinx pose, lay down. We'll do a little more this time in Sphinx. If you like this already and it feels like you could go deeper, bend your knees. Good. If this still feels good, arch the crown of your head back towards your heels. Good. And if this still feels good, you could lift your forearms off the ground. Good. So we're not reaching back and grabbing the feet yet. I guess we are. Very nice. And then easily release. Chin down, tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the thighs and lower belly. Good. All the way up to plank pose, one palm at a time. And then right toes up if you want. Good. I just needed to try it in plank. Right knee, right elbow, squeeze it. Right leg back and down, switch it. Left toes up if you want more. Left knee, left elbow. And then left leg back and down, downward facing dog. Good, we'll do one more round, then we'll take a nice little breather. Inhale, hips lifting, knees bending. Exhale, stepping or floating through to the top. Inhale, flatten out. Good, fold in, exhale, squat down, chair pose, bend the knees. And then stand up, hands to heart. Good, back to chair, inhale, one breath. Forward fold, exhale, melt in. Inhale, flatten out, and then step back to plank pose. Forearm by forearm, lower down. Good, right toes up, right knee, right elbow. And then switch, left toes, left knee, left elbow. Good, set it back and down, lay down, Sphinx pose. Good, and then this time we will take it deeper. So lean, good, and rest the chin on the ground. Bend the knees, reach back with the hands. See if you can take the outer edges of the feet if you can. If it's not an option, then you're going to take your hands behind your back and interlace the fingers, or even use a towel if you can't get the hands together. Good. Press the feet into the hands here. Feel the chest spread open, the collarbone spread. Good. Energize those legs. Maybe lift the thighs a little higher. Good. Take one more inhale here and release the left cheek to the ground. Give yourself a moment to reflect. And pick up your head, turn your face to the opposite side. Good. And then we're going to move into dolphin. So set up with Sphinx first, forearms on the ground. This time as you tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your thighs, walk your feet in closer. So everything's lifted, closer to your elbows. So it's like down dog, but you're on the forearms. Good, it's less core, it's more shoulder. Still more about the breath than it is about anything else. Good. Feel the tilting of the hips, the pelvis. Feel the pressing of the heels down. And then if you can lift the right leg up here, go ahead and lift it up. It's straight up. And then switch. Right leg down. Try your left leg. Just lift it high. And then set it down. Downward facing dog. However you want to get there is fine. Good. Very nice. This time swing your right leg straight back. Good. And then bend the right knee. Open up the hip. Should feel kind of nice just to flail it open. Just getting into what feels good in the hips. Good. And then from here, right knee to left elbow across the body, twist it. Inhale, sweep your right leg back, right knee, right elbow to the right side. Inhale, sweep it back, exhale, step it through. Turn the back foot flat. Come up to Warrior 1 like we did earlier. This time open up Warrior 2. Shoot the arms open to the sides. Drive through the left heel, left foot. Good. Very nice. And then spread the arms, spread the chest. Tailbone tilts down a little bit. Breath still steady and free. Good. Flip your right palm up. Reverse warrior. Sweep it all the way back. Keep your legs the same. So you don't want to collapse in the right knee. Keep your right knee actively pressing towards the person behind you. Good. And then take one more inhale here. Place your right forearm on top of your right thigh. If you want to go deeper, sure. You could slide the hand to the floor, fingertips or palm. And then just reach the left arm over your left ear. See how long you can get across your side body. And then just start to feel the outer right hip. Start to stretch a little bit. Start to get almost feeling a little cramping sensation. Good. Good. And then nice and easy, come all the way back to reverse warrior. Sweep it all the way up and back. And then just come right back to where you were. Forearm on thigh or hand on the mat. Left arm over the left ear. Good. Two more just like that. Inhale, sweep it all the way back. And then exhale, forearm or hand on the mat. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. And this time just come back to warrior 2. Straighten your right leg. Pivot your right foot in parallel to your left. Bring your hands to your hips. Good. Make your legs really strong. Start to lean forward with a flat back. Once you get halfway, drop your hands down to the ground. Once your hands are down, probably come up to the fingertips if you can, and then fold in. You could reach out and grab the feet, the toes. You could do whatever feels good. Just honor the lower back here. Keep the legs strong. Good. We'll have another opportunity to do this for those of you that want to go upside down. But on this one, just enjoy the stretch. Good. Steady in the breath. Steady in the mind. Good. Wherever you have those hands, just crawl them over to the left foot. Try to keep your hips like they are. I know you can't see the hips, but feel that right hip still turning open. And then take the right hand to the outer left foot, left ankle. See if you can reach your left arm straight up. Good. If you made it this far, see if you can take your left hand behind your back. So it's the inner right thigh you're trying to wrap. Good. And then if you have more slack left over, bend the right elbow a little bit. Good. Very nice. Steady, steady. Take one more inhale here. Release the left hand down and crawl over to your right foot. Good. Pivot your right toes to the front of the room. Spin onto your back toes. Frame your right foot. Bend your right knee 90 degrees. Crescent pose. Please inhale. Reach the arm straight up. Good. And then hands to the heart center. Twist to the right. Hook your left elbow this time on the outside of your right knee. Make sure you're very stable in that right knee. If you feel like you're wobbling a whole lot, it's probably better to set the left knee down. That way you can effectively twist. Good. And then try to relax into the twist like a self-massage. Just trying to surrender as you twist. At the same time, very firm with the legs and the hips. Gorgeous. We're going to come back to crescent. Take it slow here. On your inhale, reach the arms straight up. Now it's going to get a little trickier. Good. Start to lay your torso forward a little bit. Good. Eagle arms. Take your left arm underneath the right arm. See if you can get the palms together. If not, just fake it. And then slowly press all the way up to the top. And then come up to eagle pose. Drape your left knee over your right knees. Bend the right knee a little bit here so you can balance. If you can tuck the toes behind the calf, sure, do it, but don't obsess about it. Lift the elbows up, send the hands forward a little, and then bend forward from your waistline. One of the more detoxifying poses that we have in the practice, and I've only seen a few people pass out during doing it. Good. Very nice. Last few breaths. See if you can follow me here. One more standing pose on this series. Untangle your arms. Have the right hand come down, half moon pose. Untangle the left leg behind you and start to stack your hips on top of each other. Good. Very nice. Some of you guys. So, there's even beauty in error. Beauty in things that people view as different. Feel the strength here in the right leg. Peel the left hip open on top of the right. Now we've been on that right leg for a while. I see a few of you shaking. That's your moment to shine. Breathe. Good. 2. Take one more inhale, standing splits, both hands down, square your left hip. We were here before. This time, try to lift your left leg a little higher. And if you want to take your right hand behind the calf or the ankle, challenge your balance, maybe both hands. And all of a sudden, the real simple pose ain't so simple. Good. That's it. Last inhale here. Feet together as you exhale. Inhale, flatten the back. Step back to plank pose and hold that. Good. Lower the forearms down one by one. And maybe right toes up, maybe right knee, right elbow. And then switch. Right leg back and down, left toes up. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg back and down, Sphinx pose. Lay down. Good. And anytime you come to Sphinx, you're welcome to bend the knees here, maybe straighten the arms. If it feels good for your back bend, I know personally for me, Sphinx pose is fine. Good. And then retuck the toes. Lift the knees, the thighs, the lower belly. Come back to plank pose, one palm at a time. Downward facing dog. Good. Lift your left leg back, bend the left knee, open up the hip, flail it open. Should feel really sweet. And try to keep the shoulders squared. Try to keep the weight equally distributed in the palms. And then left knee, right elbow across the body, twist it. Nice. Inhale, sweep it back, left knee, left elbow, tricep, armpit if you can. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, step it through. Back foot flat. Warrior 1 first inhale. And then warrior 2. Shoot it open. Good. Nice. Straight lines, arms, chest open. Tail down a little. Strong back leg, eyes soft. Good. Still breathing in and out of that nose. Trying to find your poise just like a warrior would halfway through the battle. Good. Flip your left palm up. Reverse warrior. Sweep it all the way back until it feels pretty sweet. Give it a couple breaths here. Good. And then left forearm to the left thigh. Reach the right arm straight up. You can bring the left hand down if you'd like. There we go, just like that. Good. Moving only your right arm, extended over your right ear. Good. This is the shoulder. Good. Really drive through that outer right foot. See how long you can get here. That palm's facing down, maybe even to the bathroom wall. All right, and then right arm up. Let's come back to warrior two. Sweep it back behind you. Reverse it again. And then right back where you were. So it's forearm down or hand down, right arm over right ear. Don't change the legs. Good. Again, sweep it back like a bow and arrow. Set the sights. And then exhale, forearm or hand down. One more time. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then warrior two, straighten the left leg. Good. Pivot your left foot in. Take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, open the chest. Don't lean too far back, but forward fold as you exhale. Strong legs, empty neck. Good. And if you value going upside down more than the shoulder stretch, feel free to do that now. Good. Just breathe. Feel that tension just melting off the crown of your head. Good. If you're upside down, see if you can come back, join us. And then everybody drop the hands down, crawl over to your right foot. It's on your right leg. Take the left hand out or right ankle if you can. If not, don't worry about it. Reach the right arm up. Good. If you made it this far, take the right hand behind the back, inner left thigh, give it a little wrap. See if you can kind of check the hips, make sure they're even. Good. Beautiful. Good. One last inhale here. Go ahead and release the right hand down and crawl over to that left foot. And as you start to frame it, pivot the left toes to the front of the room. Bend the left knee, spin onto the back toes for crescent pose. Inhale, press down, sweep the arms straight up. Once you find your balance, hands to the heart center, rotate and twist to the left. Hook your right elbow, right tricep, right armpit, over on that left knee, left thigh. Wherever it happens to land, anchor it in there and start to open the chest. Start to pull the heart forward and drive your right heel back. Good. You're welcome to set the right knee down. That just shows me that you're listening to yourself. Good. That's it, you guys. We're going to come back to crescent. Now do it with stability, with a slowness, no velocity. Good. And then slowly start to lean forward. We're taking the right arm underneath the left arm. It's called eagle arms. If you can't get the palms, fake it. No big deal. Lift the elbows and step all the way up. Bend the left knee a little bit and drape the right leg over the left. Very nice. Once you get it back over there, maybe hook the toes, maybe not. Lift the elbows. Hinge from your waist and bend in half like a piece of paper. And then breathe deep. The 3 biggest breaths of 2014. Good. And then remember the transition. Untangle the arms. Left fingertips are coming down. Untangle the right leg behind you. Reach the right arm up. Start to press through that left foot and peel your right hip open on top of the left. We call it the half moon pose. The bound. Good. You can bind the ankle if you want. You can do so many different options here. As long as you're breathing and you're calm, I don't care what you do. Last 3, open a little wider. 2. Take one last inhale, drop the right hand down, square the hips, standing splits. Crawl the fingertips a little closer in. Drop the head. Maybe take your left hand and or the right hand behind the calf or the ankle And then let that nose squeeze a little closer in. Flirt with the height of your right leg. You're almost there. Good. Take one more inhale. Feet together. Exhale. Inhale, flatten the back. Step back to plank pose. Lower the forearms down to the ground one by one. Good. Maybe right toes up. Maybe right knee, right elbow. And then right leg back and down. Switch. Left toes up. Left knee, lefty. Left leg back and down. Sphinx pose. If you want to, bend the knees. Maybe straighten the arms. Enjoy the back bend. Good. Let's go ahead and do one more bow pose here. So release the chin to the floor, reach back with the hands, grab the outer ankles if you can. A lot of back bends today. You guys are going to have so much energy, you're not going to know what to do later. Good. As you kick the feet into the hands, feel the chest spread, collarbone spread. After you feel that, you have permission to go deeper, which means the thighs might lift a little higher. Good. Crown of the head shooting forward. Just for 3, you guys breathe. Good. And 2. You got it. Take one more last inhale and then release. Left cheek to the ground. This time we'll all take a big inhale through the nose. Letting sound out of the mouth. Let it go. Pick up your head. Turn your face to the other side. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Let some sound go. The dolphin pose. Forearms into Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the thighs, lower belly. Walk the feet in for dolphin pose. Good. If it's going to make you come out of the pose, don't lift your legs. Otherwise, lift your right leg straight up. This time, maybe press under your left toes to get a little higher. And then switch. Right leg down, lift your left leg high. Maybe press onto the right toes just for a second. And then left leg down, downward facing dog. However you want to get there is fine with me. Good. Unplug your hands, crawl them back to your feet so you're at the back of the mat. Feet hips or shoulder width. Take your peace fingers, grab your big toe. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, assisted forward fold. Feel all 4 corners of your feet plugging down. Good. Very nice. Let that neck hang. Maybe roll it out. Nodding yes and no. You guys hit the 2/3 marker. One more third to go. Can you stay with your breath for the last third of the practice? Yeah, that's one of the cool things about doing something new, changing something up. You don't have a lot of time to think about other things. So until I just reminded you about that, good. Release the toes. Add the wrists. Lift the toes. Slide your palms underneath your feet so you can stand on your hands. You're going to bend the knees probably a lot here. I know I do. Very nice. If you're on the hands, step off of the hands. Put a decent bend in the knees again. Start to roll your way up like a rag doll, all the way up to standing. And when you come all the way up, reach the arms up. Drop your right hand down right side, and then fold. Reach through the fingertips. You can use the right hand to press into the thigh. And then switch. Both arms up, drop the left hand down left side. And reach through the right fingertips. Really reach through that side wall. And then come back up. Both palms touch. Hands to heart. Step up, top of the mat. And we're set up for what's called bear pose. Separate your feet probably the width of the yoga mat, unless you have one of those double wide manduka things going on. So what you're going to do is keep the feet parallel, bend the knees a lot. As you keep the fingers down here, start to reach the arms forward, pull your hips back, reach your fingers forward, and start to hug, bear hug, your rib cage with your inner thighs. You really want to feel that so you're stable in your lower back. We'll do a couple of these. Vigorously pull forward. Just for 3. Good. And 2. Take one more inhale, hands down, straighten the legs. Good. We'll do it one more time. If you're worried about your lower back here and it feels funky, skip it. But I have plenty of lower back issues, and this is the best thing for it. So try to do it right if you're doing it. Bend the knees a lot, like you're downhill skiing. Reach the arms forward, feel the hip girdle, sink it back, and then hug those inner thighs in. Good. Last 3. And 2. In 1, hands down, yogi squat. Point the toes out a bit and squat down. Good. Palms together. Spread the lower back. It's already spreading. It'll spread more if you lift your chest. Go ahead and drop your right hand down to the ground. Slide it to the right. And then reach your left arm up. There's a bind here. If you have long enough arms and open enough shoulders, you could drop the left hand behind your back and wrap the right arm around the knee. Good. Good. And release. Good. Place the left hand down, slide it to the left, reach your right arm up. And then maybe drop it behind the back if you want to take the bind. It's not like the bind makes you a better person or anything. So you're welcome to skip it. Last couple. Put this here. There you go. And release. Plant the hands on the floor, straighten the legs, pivot the feet in. Inhale, flatten the back. Step back to plank pose. Lower the forearms down one by one. Maybe lift your right toes up, maybe right knee, right elbow. Right leg back and down. Switch. Left toes up, left knee, lefty. Left leg back and down. Lay down. Sphinx pose. Good. Arch the hard back and then straight back to forearm plank. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the thighs. All the way up to plank. One by one, palm by palm. A big inhale here. Downward facing dog. Good. We having fun yet or what? Good. One more standing series to go. Good. Go ahead and sweep your right leg back as you inhale. Right knee, right elbow as you exhale. This time don't sweep it back. Just start to swing it back and forth between your elbows. Left elbow to right elbow. Left elbow to right. Good. Good. And then from here, knee to nose down the center. Pause here. Wherever that right knee is, set it on the ground right there. Good. And then lift it up again. As you lift it, round your shoulders. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Set the knee down. As you lift it, round the shoulders. Good. Set it down, just like cat pose. Round. And on this last one, set the knee down, round, and step it through top of the mat. Good. Back foot flat. Warrior 2. Circle the arms open. Now go ahead and straighten your right leg for triangle pose. So as you straighten it, on the inhale, reach out for the front wall. And then as you exhale, float the right hand down to the shin bone or the ankle bone. Just wherever it happens to fall is the perfect place. Good. And then you just open in that left chest. Good. Active legs. Good. And then just mainly breathing still. From here, I want you to feel your right quadricep muscle being used. Don't completely lock the leg, but come all the way to standing with straight legs. Good. And then once you get there, step the back foot in about 6 more inches, maybe about 8 or 10, depending on you. Point your left toes to the front of the room as much as possible. Bring your hands to your hips. Good. And reach your left arm forward. Good. And then twisting triangle. Lean forward about halfway. And then drop your left hand down either to the ankle, the shin, the floor, or a block if you have one. Before you reach the right arm up, feel your navel opening up to the right. Good. Lumbar spine twisting. Last thing will happen. Yeah, that right arm can come up once you're ready. Good. This is definitely my least favorite pose that we've done today. It's a tricky one. See if you can anchor your left heel on the ground. Good. Open that chest. Breathe. That's it, you guys. We're going to take it into the more difficult version. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Bend your right knee about halfway. Crawl the left hand forward about a foot and press your left leg off the ground for twisting half moon. And then re-straighten both legs. And then try not to be too lazy with the left leg. I know it's easy to be lazy here. See how straight you can make your left leg. That's it. Breathe. Good. Open up. Take one more inhale here. Set your right hand down as you exhale. Go ahead and drop step your left toes to the back of the mat. Set your left knee on the floor. And straighten your right leg. Half split. You might want to slide your right heel forward a little bit. You might want to slide it forward a lot. If you want to go into a 3/4 split or a full split, Hanumanasana, the monkey pose. Good. Good. Wherever you are, take an inhale, lengthen out a little more, and then fold in as you exhale. Get a little deeper into that right hamstring. And then breathe into whatever you're feeling, which is so different than what anybody else is in here is feeling based off of the history of you. You know, we have the breath, and we know it's important. It's important for so many different reasons. In the strength postures, it kind of helps distract you. It helps calm you down a little bit from the strength that starts to become intolerant at times. And then as we do the stretching, flexibility, the breath is all about going deeper into the stretch. So every inhale is an opportunity to lengthen. Every exhale, an opportunity to deepen. Good. And then if you took it to a deeper stretch, slide the right heel back a little bit. And everybody bend the right knee, place the right foot on the floor. Go ahead and bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand. Let's get the hip flexor involved. You could take both hands back there if you have that skill. Good. And just feel your chest open. Yeah, you can make a little padding for your knee if it's irritating it. Good. Feel the heart pull forward, shoulders into their sockets. And then easily release. Frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee off the ground. Plank pose. Good. Lower your forearms down one by one. If you want more, right foot up. Right knee, right elbow. Squeeze it. Right leg back and down. Switch. Left toes up. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg back and down. Sphinx pose. Lay down. Good. Feel like you're dragging the skin back. Maybe bend the knees. Good. And then retuck the toes. Lift the knees, the thighs, the lower belly. Back to forearm plank pose. And straight into plank. One palm at a time. Press it up. Inhale here. Downward facing dog. Last side to go. Sweep your left leg back. Inhale. Left knee, left elbow. Exhale. Just oscillate. Swing it back and forth between the elbows. Yeah, it's not easy. If you wanted easy, you would have gone to yin yoga class. Just for 3, 2. I want you to start to squeeze it down the midline to the nose and then lightly set the knee on the ground. Good. As you lift it, round like a scaredy cat with the shoulders. Set it down. And then again, round and lift with strength. Good. Set it down this time. Lift and step it through. Spin the back foot flat. Warrior 2. Circle the right arm up, over, and open behind you. And then straighten your left leg for triangle pose. Inhale, reach out for the front wall. And exhale, float the left hand down around the shin bone. Good. Stacking the shoulders, opening the hips. Good. Beautiful. Good. Using the left quad and strong legs, come all the way up to standing and step your back foot a little closer in. Remember, we're going to turn the right toes facing a little more forward. Good. Hands to the hips to start. And then reach your right arm forward. Good. With a flat back, lean forward. See how far you can reach to the front wall. And then once you're about halfway forward, drop that hand down. It might come down to the floor. Might come down to the ankle or shin. Mine comes down to the shin. Roll the left chest open. Feel the belly button twisting. And then the last thing that comes up is the left arm. And the reason being is because the arms are almost an illusion. You're twisting more from your chest. You're twisting more from your navel and lower back. Good, you guys. Anchor the right heel down and breathe. Nice. Taking it to a slightly more advanced posture, twisting half moon, left hand, left hip, bend your left knee, crawl the right hand forward until you have to lift the right leg up, and then re-straighten both legs. The right fingertips will be underneath the shoulder. That left arm straight up, roll it open and twist and breathe. Don't be lazy with the right leg. I know it's easy to be. Good. Good. Right hip down. Right there. Nice. Last 3. And 2. One more sweet inhale. Left hand down. Pause. Drop step your right toes back of the mat. Set your right knee down. Straighten your left leg. Enjoy the isolated split on your left leg. And feel free to slide the left heel forward if need be. And once you kind of get where you're going to go, take another inhale, lift the heart to get longer. Exhale, fold in, lift the navel, get deeper. Still with your breath. Good. If you took a deeper split, come back to the half split. Place the whole left foot on the floor. Bend your right knee. Reach back with your left hand and or right hand. Or maybe just place the right forearm down or just stay right where you are. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then slowly release. Frame your left foot, tuck your back toes, lift the right knee. Back to plank. Last time, lower those forearms down to the ground. And maybe lift the right toes up, right knee, right elbow, squeeze it. Right leg back and down, left knee, left elbow if you want it. Left leg back and down, lay down, Sphinx pose. Good. And we'll take one more bow for our last back bend. Release the chin down, bend the knees, reach back with the hands, and grab the outer feet. Ankle bones, hopefully. Press the feet into the hands. You're going to be running around like crazy people after this. Breathe, lift. For 5. Yeah, 4. Lift and pull. 3. Maybe the thighs higher. 2. You got it. One more inhale. Release left cheek to the ground. Good. And then pick up your head. Turn your face to the other side. Forearms back in the last Sphinx pose. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the thighs and lower belly, all the way up to plank, palm by palm. And just for fun, take a vinyasa. Take an inhale, lower all the way down, cobra or up dog, and then last downward facing dog. Good. Pigeon pose. Right leg, step it through, heel toe the right foot to the left side of the mat. Feel free to lay on your back to protect the knee or take double seated variation. Remember to protect the knee. It's most important here. Good. If you're at that point where you feel pain, you definitely want to lay on your back. If you're not sure what you feel, and it feels kind of like pain, but it's not exactly pain, it's probably just growth. You should probably just stay in the pose. Still with the breath. Last 5 deep breaths. And you're just going to switch sides. So whatever you need to do to switch sides, crawl your way back up. Maybe swing the leg back. Do whatever you got to do. Left leg pigeon pose. Hip opener. Remember to take your time getting into it, never rushing. Finding as much length as you can. Last 5 deep breaths. And then do whatever you need to do from here and just become to a seated position. Place the soles of your feet together, pull the heels in. Just sit up nice and tall here, shoulders down. This might be enough for some of you guys, or fold in. Good. Last few stretches, stay with your breath. Good. And then release, close your knees together. Slide the legs out in front of you. Last seated stretch, reach the arms up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Grab the feet if you can. If you can't, bend the knees a little bit so you can. The inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold in, lift your navel. Last inhale here. Lay on your back as you exhale. Very nice. Let's take happy baby pose. Reach out and grab the outer edges of your feet. Plug the knees down. Feel the hip girdle. Be nice and stretched. Lengthen the tailbone to the front wall. Maybe rock left and right if it feels good. Good. And then straighten the legs out to the sides if you'd like. And then close your legs together. Press the palms on the ground. Keep your legs straight up in the air and then rock them up and over your head for plow pose. If you're going that route with us today. If not, just keep the legs straight up. And then once you get back to plow, bring the hands to the lower back and walk your elbows in for support. Extend the legs one by one straight up. Let all that blood start to rush back into the opposite direction than it's used to rushing. Just gaining new insight, new perspective on the world above you. Good. And then easy does it, just come right back into that plow pose. Let the hands rest on the floor, palms flat, and then use the palms, press them down. Slowly lower out of that spine, upper, middle, and eventually the lower back will touch down. And when it does, set up for your final twist. Hug the right knee in. Extend your left leg out and twist the right leg to the left side body. Open the right chest, anchor the right shoulder, and breathe. Very nice. Come back to the center line. Left knee in, right leg forward. Very final spinal twist. Drop the left knee to the right. Anchor your left shoulder on the ground as you open your left arm. Maybe turn the face to the left. And any remaining tension in the body, see if you can let it go now. Any nooks, any crannies left unscathed, try to soften them. And then finally come down that center line and hug the knees, the shins, the thighs in, hug the arms around them. Pull the knees to the nose to the knees. Take a big fat inhale, hold it in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let it all go. Shavasana, you have arrived. Congratulations. You guys made it. The warm-ups are now over. Now see how deeply you can let go for the few minutes that you're here. Eyes closed, maybe covered. Palms up. Now you can let go of your breath and just enjoy you being with what is. The deeper you go, the deeper the reward will be. Welcome to yoga. And if you'd like to lay on your backs for a few minutes, you're welcome to do that. But if you'd like to start moving, choose to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then just placing your left hand on the heart, the right hand on your stomach, feeling the mind-body connection. Feeling the warmth of the right hand covering the stomach. And taking a big, deep inhale into that. Open the mouth, let it go. Feel the pitter-patter of the heart and the warmth of the hand placed over it. Take an inhale into that. And then open the mouth, let it go. Good. Seal your practice with gratitude, mainly just for walking in the door. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Good work today, guys. Namaste.